Hello, everybody. Amanda Holmes here, CEO of Ultimate Sales Machine, helping you to work faster, better, smarter. And today I have with me a long dear friend, Ted Miller III. He worked hand in hand with my father for over a decade to assist in selling over 70 million in training, coaching, consulting services. And here at CHI, we really teach how to double sales in under 12 months flat. And today we're going to cover one of those strategies, which is how to hire sales superstars. Ted, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you for having me back. I'm glad to be back home here. And if you've read The Ultimate Sales Machine, you're going to get some updates, maybe, a new edition coming out with some insights, some distinctions that you must know on how to deploy this fast growth strategy and things that we found by not just deploying it ourselves. When Chet was alive, actually, Tony, when we were partnering with Tony, he said in every single ad, we doubled sales year after year after year. It was like 3 million to 7, 7 to 17, 17 to 34 million. All that came on the back of recruiting top producers. And their distinctions I'm going to share with you today, I think are really essential that you might not have picked up in the book because frankly, our learning curves came after the launch of that book. So I'm excited to share that. In fact, I can jump in and start sharing that now. Can I go in and explain what we've got covered here?
Please.
Yeah, all right. So check this out. This is a sales superstar strategy. Amanda, tell me, can you see that on the screen? The little Superman thing? Yeah. So at last, the super secret strategy to recruiting sales superstars that you can learn in 30 minutes. You can get results in 30 days. And the sexy part, never cost you a dime. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about recruiting them on pure commission. And I know that freaks a lot of people out, yet I dispel that myth that you can't do that all the time. So I'll cover that, how we do that right here. So the pre-screening model, you may have read about it. Maybe if you're not, I'm going to cover some fundamental basics and the distinctions between the two differences. One, the purpose of the pre-screening is to quickly determine, does this superstar have the talent? Either they're superstar or super suck. Now, this whole right? Super suck is you carried that person for like 6 months. They never hacked it. They never I had to pay 10 grand a month in base salary and they never performed.
Everyone's done it.
You hear this all the time. And yet they're like, but when I try to do it on pure commission, well, they all want a base. Well, I'm going to show you how to overcome that. How to, in 5 to 10 minutes, quickly ascertain, do they have core characteristic traits? Really the virtues that make them a top producer. Now, this may feel uncomfortable at first, but the initial rejection part is critical to determine if they're a sales star or a super suck. And
I love you're going to cover some things that people normally don't know about too. A little distinctions that have changed over the years on this. So make sure you stay tuned on this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be exciting. I'll just tell you now, 2 C's. So I'll hold me accountable, make sure I share those 2 C's because those haven't been covered before. So don't go weak. If they aren't a sales superstar, you're doing both of you and them a favor. Don't hire someone that's just a gosh golly nice person, but can't close a barn door, let alone a sale. Stop asking pigs to fly. Stop asking them to be something that they're not in their true essence. It's unethical for you to do that. So I'm going to show you how this is the most loving thing you could do is love them in and as well as love them out. So as a salesperson, they deal with rejection every single day. You need to determine right now if they can deal with that conflict in an effective, healthy manner, or if they're going to just, show their weaker sides of the characteristic trait. Because frankly, if they don't have the confidence in themselves, Amanda, are they ever going to have confidence in a product and service we need to train them on?
No, definitely not.
Everything external is a reflection of their internal identity. And the way they play out their life and they project into this hologram is just their beliefs. Limiting beliefs, empowering beliefs, whatever it may be. We're going to find out what they are in 10 minutes. Literally fast. Find out if they're interested or committed to being a great sales superstar. So this is how it goes. Remember, it should only take 5 to 10 minutes. So you literally should take your phone, set an alarm because I trust you as far as I can throw you that you'll do it. You'll want to be too nice. You'll try to convince them why they should work for you. This is not your sales job to convince them. This is your ability to ascertain where they fall on core sets of personality traits. So it says, put an alarm on there. It says, I got to tell you something right now. What are you going to tell them at 10-minute mark when the alarm goes off? What your first impressions were. First impressions only come once. Yes, you can create a new impression after the first one, but the first impression is so critical. So you just interrupt them and say, hey, I've been trained by the best recruiter on the planet to stop and tell you what I like most about you right now. So let's just say it goes something like this. If or you have or have not learned on this ad, the first thing you want to do is share some compelling reason why they want to work with you instead of someone else. Before I go any further, let's do this a little bit right now, Amanda. Here's what
Okay.
I find. Biggest mistakes people make when they read chapter 5 in this book is they go out and they run an ad. And they go, okay, well, I'm the CEO. I'm the best sales guy here. So I want salespeople. I got John over here. He's my sales guy. How much you make last year, John? Well, I made 76,000. Okay. 76. Well, I want someone better than you. So guess what they put in the ad? How
76.
much? Yeah, 76 or 100. Now, here's the thing. Let's just say they put in sales star can make $100, $100,000 in a year. If someone's applying to a job that says $100,000, how much do you think they ended up making last year? Do you think a $100,000 earner is only looking for a job to make the same amount of money?
No.
We know they made 75K last year. They're applying for a $100,000 job, and now you're getting more of the same. So big mistake made when deploying chapter 5 is you're failing to shoot for the top of the mountain because you end up hitting the side. Find a Chet Jr. What if you had a Chet Jr. work for you? Chet worked for billionaire Charlie Munger. Get a Chet Jr. work for you. Tony worked for Jim Rohn. Get him when he was young. How much could they make you in a year? How much could you afford to pay them? I bring in $1 million, $2 million. You could afford $200,000, maybe even $250,000 for that star. Put that in your ad. First, shoot for the absolute best. So now the ad says, sales superstars are. Our sales rep made only $76,000 last year. Good sales reps can crack the six-figure code, but a true superstar can hit $250,000. But don't even bother calling unless you prove yourself to be an overachiever and a top producer. That's what I said to do in chapter 5. Well, here's how it unfolds. They call you up. You say, yeah, hi, this is Ted. And that ad said, don't ever bother calling unless you can prove yourself to be an overachiever and a top producer. So you got 2 minutes to talk yourself into an interview. You ready? Go. Oh, well, hi, Amanda. My name's Bob. And I like sales because I like people. So my mom says I'm good at it, right? You're going to get some kind of like something. They're going to share about why they think they're great and give you their pitch. Your whole job is when that alarm goes off, just stop them in the middle of going, and that's why I was a top producer at Lone Star State somethings, right? And say, hey, Bob, I've got an alarm going off. I got to tell you what I like most about you. I mean, you're such a nice guy. I mean, if I were going to hire 2 people, I might even consider hiring you. Gee, gosh, golly, you're just so nice. But this is where you let the shoe drop. You confront them and you challenge their character that shows are they going to fold or going to be strong. And you just say the words literally, but I'm not going to hire 2 people. I'm only going to hire 1. Amanda, I'm only going to hire an overachiever and a top producer. And I got to tell you, Bob, just not hearing it. What do you think we're going to hear in that moment when you reject that person, when you say, I'm just not hearing it?
9 times out of 10, they back away and say, oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it plays out. Yet most will screw up. Here's another mistake commonly played out when they're taking information. They haven't gotten personal mentorship or consulting through us how to better deploy this, is they'll make it personal about them. Well, I didn't like when you said this, or well, I just don't think you're going to cut it. That intelligent, high qualified salesperson might hear you say, oh, I'm not in alignment. This isn't my home. And they leave. You literally want to keep it clean and just say, I'm just not hearing it. Open-ended rejection, allowing them to dictate based on their skills alone, if they can shine or fold. Because that's what you're wanting. You want to find out, are they going to either close themselves on getting that appointment, or are they going to fold like a chair like Jack Lemmon and Glenn Ross? Because if they fold, you save yourself a ton of time. Had you done this, you may have hired them and would not have they would have sucked you dry of your leads, which cost you a flood of money in that advertising and marketing expense. And that's your top dollars you've invested, and you hand it to a weak rep that can't close a barn door or sale. So this saves you a lot of time. Because what we're looking at is, remember, in any negotiation, the person with the most certainty is going to win. You are testing their confidence. The 2 C's you want to find out, one is confidence. Now, Chet called it ego, but the problem with ego is people thought they were looking for egomaniacs, and then they said, oh, I don't like working with egomaniacs. That's not his intention. His intention was the word confidence, and we're just adjusting it just to make sure you see the intention behind the language pattern he was speaking of. Find those that are anchored in certainty in themselves. And if
Mm.
they can be confident in themselves and who they are, they can represent your brand.
Yep.
Otherwise, they'll fold like a chair. So that's, and then to get a culture fit, it's not just confidence, it's balanced like yin yang with compassion. Those that care more sell more. You really want to find those that score really high on compassion, because in this day and age, Amanda, aren't you hearing it consistently? People are getting sick and tired of being sold nonstop. People are
Yeah.
always finding just pitches nonstop, but they're failing to add value. And the true compassionate human being will push through any rejection they get on the front lines of capitalism to find a way to add value, find a way to show sincere caring, and go through any discomfort to get to the yes that's in the client's best interest.
Yeah, statistically, it's showing that 5 years ago, about 70% of the people said that salespeople didn't listen to them, and now it's up to 90%. They just feel that they're being bombarded. They're overwhelmed with how much they don't want to talk to a salesperson.
It is sad. It is so sad. And yet it's so easy to find compassionate human beings that have enough sensory acuity to listen when they should listen, give appropriate feedback, meaning advice. Good advice is contextual. And you can only give good contextual advice in return if you shut up long enough to truly, sincerely hear and understand their given situation. That's step one in 7 steps of creating lasting change in human behavior. So,
Mm.
first, seek to understand, not to be heard. Very fundamental. We've all heard it said a million times from every major sales trainer on the planet, but those people that are wired to do that naturally are going to succeed exponentially more than those that are only faking it until they make it, because then their true colors are going to just shine. Because the colors you're looking for, you know what? Sometimes people have been called freaks. I know Chet was called a freak because he said, I love to cold call in the morning. You know what? Find that person. If you genuinely need someone to make $100 a day, then I want you to find the person who says, where's my cup of coffee? Where's my list of 100 names? It's time to go make a new friend. Let's go dial for dollars, baby. Get that person. You might think that's a freak. Like, wow, I'm not like that. Well, this isn't about you. This is about the opportunity given to a sales superstar. And if you can start finding those that score high in compassion to meet your cultural fit, high in confidence so they don't fold in the face of adversity, because frankly, think of it. What are you doing? B2B sales, B2C, anywhere. The number one thing a salesperson faces on a daily basis is rejection. That's
Mhm.
the number one truth on the planet. So please allow them to express how they respond to the pressure of rejection in front of you in the first 10 minutes. You'll then know how they're going to handle and represent your brand when real stuff hits the fan, when they got a deal that's for $2 million and they're not winning. How are they going to respond to any pressure? Find that all right now. Find out in 2 to 10 minutes. So we shared distinctions. How do you go through a pre-screening process to find out if they can score high on confidence? You've got other distinctions to make sure they're driven heavily on compassion, so you have people that care.
So, Ted, you've given us some amazing strategies and distinctions of things that people usually, we hear it, right? So, every day we hear, oh, I thought about doing that
Yes.
switch on them, but I didn't really know how.
Yeah.
And, I want to do an ad that attracts a superstar, but that distinction really made a difference. That was a real big light bulb.
Yeah.
I want to be able to give back to our community, to give something that they can take away, like a script of exactly what the ad should be, a breakdown of exactly what a
Yeah.
superstar should be, those traits.
Yes.
Can you give them something like that?
Yeah, we could, well, a couple things that are essential. One is the actual makeup of the ad. And that makes and breaks it. Our mutual friend, Josh Turner, who owns Link Selling, when they deployed that strategy, they got 1,000 applicants for a
Mhm.
single sales position. That's huge. If you can't find a diamond in a rough out of 1,000 applicants, something's seriously wrong. So, by the way, they crushed it. They became the 352nd fastest growing company in America that year. So that ad, no problem. It'll break it down segment by segment with clear instructions and examples from ads that have worked effectively happening today. So it's a major update to anything they've seen in the past. Yeah.
That's great. So I don't want to do any like 497 or like high item. Can we just do something like, can you offer that for like?
Of course we can. So like, I always see it in zeros. Like you have the free and then you got up to 10. So like keep it in single digit, like $9 and we'll give them, well, they also need to know the characteristic traits of a top producing sales superstar. We
Hmm.
talked about compassion and confidence, but there are 10 other core characteristic traits you want to find in a human. So let's
Hmm.
just go ahead and give that to them as well.
Oh,
It's
great.
really flushed out in great detail. Here's the classic characteristic traits of a true top producer. So you
Hmm.
sure you know what you're finding in advance, instead of just someone driven highly in confidence. That might not be the core value set that you have as your unique culture. So I'm going to lay out these 10 characteristic traits so that we can find the ones that are going to fit in your culture.
Oh, great. Okay, so for $9, we're just giving this away,
Yep.
basically. It's
We're going to
just
be giving them all of that. And
wow.
then also a little bit more training. Let's just take me going through into more distinction around loving them and loving them out, because that's the real secret sauce that came after the book was written. We doubled sales 3 years in a row, as I alluded to earlier. That came from learning how to find out if they're a top producer quickly and in really short order. I'm talking about in 2 weeks, to know if they're the right one, instead of you keeping them on the hook too long and they suck you of energy, maybe not of money if you're doing full commission, but they can ruin your culture if they're the wrong people. One bad apple ruin the whole darn bunch. So it's called love them in, love them out. And we'll have to walk them through that, because that's never been seen before. It may make its way into the new edition of the book. I think that would be essential. We just incorporate that as well. So there's 3 core elements there: the
Wow.
makeup of the ad, the characteristic traits of the sales superstar you're looking for, and how to live them in, love them out. $9.
Thanks. Well, you just have to click the link below and you'll be able to get that gift. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Ted, for coming on and giving your expertise. It's lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a part of the Ultimate Sales Machine community.